Well, welcome to our Bible session. We've been looking at Israel, and we've talked about how important Israel is to us and the things it does because it points us in the direction we need to go. And when we see things taking place in Israel, we know that those things are going to take place here also. So we can watch what happens in Israel and get a general idea of what's going on in the world. So we get looking at a part two here of the ancient Israel. Now, ancient Israel was a period of in history that was spanning over thousands of years, encompassing the formation of the Israelite people, was the establishment of the state and the development of this unique culture and religion. Now, this period begins with biblical times and continues until the Romans' conquest, leaving a profound mark on the world's history. And as we look at this, we're looking at the historical chronology. I'll get it out. Ancient Israel, including several stages. The first one is the patriarchal period, where the patriarchs are spoken of in 1700 BC. It speaks of the Exodus and the conquest of Canaan in 1250 and 1200 BC, the period of the Judges, 1200 to 1000, the United Kingdom, 1000 to 900, the divided kingdom, 9 to 500, the Babylonian exile and return, 586 to 516, and the Second Temple period in the 516 to the 7 BC. The patriarchal period was something that was unique. We get to see the people like Abraham and them, talk about them. And we know that according to the Bible, the patriarchal period encompasses a lifetime of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see, Abraham, considered the founder of the Israelite nation, made a covenant with God, who promised him and his descendants the land of Canaan. And God delivered on that. This period is to show us by a nomadic lifestyle of the people and Abraham, and the constant movement of the Israelites across the Near East. God kept these people sometimes on the move, and I think it was sort of a test to see, would they listen to him? Would they follow his lead? Because it's important for us today to know that it is important for you and I to follow his lead. Now, the Exodus and conquest of Canaan, the Exodus of the Israelites from Egypt, traditionally dated 1250 BC, was a key event in the history of the people. And under the leadership of Moses, the Israelites left Egypt and wandered in the desert and wilderness, as we know, for 40 years. So this period became a time for the formation of their identity and the establishment and putting together a real strong faith. And after the death of Moses, Joshua took over the leadership as appointed by God to lead the Israelites into the conquest of Canaan and entering into the land of milk and honey that God had promised them. Now, the Bible describes a series of battles of conquest that led to the establishment of the Israelites' tribe in this land. Now, there's key events, including the fall of Jericho, which was quite a battle, and the conquest of other cities. And then, of course, there's a period of judges. After the conquest of Canaan, the Israelites lived as tribes, and they were governed by judges. Now, this period was characterized by a lack of centralized authority and frequent internal conflicts, as well as clashes and neighboring people, such as the Philistines and the Amalekites. Judges like Deborah and Samson played significant roles in uniting the tribes to fight against external enemies and not themselves. Now, the United Kingdom would be next, and that would be a situation that changed with the establishment with a monarchy. The first king of Israel, Saul, was an anointed king by the prophet Samuel. And despite his achievement, Saul faced internal conflict and external threats. After his death, David became the second king, who united the Israelite tribes and created a strong state. Now, David established Jerusalem as the capital and conquered neighboring territories. David's son Solomon continued in his father's footsteps, building the first temple in Jerusalem, which became a sacred place for the Israelites. Solomon's reign was a time of prophecy, stability, and during which culture and trade had flourished. And then we end up finally with the divided kingdom in this particular study. We'll look at Babylon exile and return next. But the divided kingdom, after Solomon's death in 930 BC, the kingdom was divided into two different countries, or two different groups, I guess you'd say at that time. You had the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah. This division led to political and social instability, resulting in internal conflicts and wars between the two kingdoms. Maybe each one was trying to establish they were the leader. Maybe everything should fall under them. You see, the northern kingdom of Israel experienced constant political changes and the fall of dynasties, while the southern kingdom of Judah maintained this more stable rule. So I'm sure with the northern, every time they had a change, there was this thought, that Judah's doing so well, we need to bring them in. We'll just control them too. And it led to conflicts. But we know that both kingdoms underwent spiritual changes, including at times the worship of pagan gods and idols and things like that, which caused discontent among the prophets. And they were called on that and told they had to quit that. But they wouldn't. That's what got Israel into such trouble, was idol worship. Today, we have tons of them. It's known as our jobs or our people or prestige or money or whatever. People are always looking in this world to make things better instead of looking where they should, to store in a place where thieves and rust can't take away, where they will reap the benefits in an eternal future. But here, this is all going to be gone. No matter what they do here, it's not going to last. So they need to be investing in that eternal future, which is Jesus Christ as our Savior, and then in heaven. Well, I'm going to stop there. We're going to look at the Babylonian exile and return next. As we go through, you'll learn more and more about Israel and how they were and who they were. God bless, and share this with someone if you will.